go, everybody. We are well into hour number 3, Numero Trace of Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious Manchester, New Hampshire. And, of course, you can stream the show from anywhere. Go to mattconnarton.com/unleashed for an updated list of your live streaming options, social media links, contact info, show archives, etc., etc. And today is Saturday, August 1st, 2026, and our original guest is not able to join us, so we are bringing in our next guest early. If he's, let me get that mic up. Charles, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am.
Well, I appreciate your flexibility, and it kind of works out for the best, probably, because we do have a lot to discuss. It is, of course, SummerSlam weekend.
It is. Today is part 1 of this 2-story saga over there in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So yes, that is a real wrestling town. By the way, I was, of course, also on your show recently, the Charles Richardson show. We should give that a plug. Of course, you're on every Wednesday evening. Yes, I am, 8 to 10 Eastern, and live on IPM Nation, actually. So yes, so make sure you check it out. And
of course, we are now colleagues at Dare Media Group.
Yes, we are. Thanks to a certain somebody who claims to be the king of rock and roll,
Elvis. I don't think
king of rock and roll music. Sorry. Anyway, we're not gonna dive into that black hole.
No, we're not. Just say we appreciate General Scotty. He's our new best friend.
Yes, General Scotty. Thank you very much.
What a great man.
He is. He's a very cool cat. Very cool. And knows what he's doing, man. I'm telling you, when I finally got a chance to talk to him, we talked for like 2 hours. Mm-hmm. It was literally like I was getting to know somebody to date them.
Oh wow!
And yeah, I'm like, and he's over here telling me all the stuff that he does with with the station, the analytics, how he pulls stuff, the programs he has. I'm like, I think this is a match made in heaven.
I'm going to say so. I'm going to say this, Charles. I'm just going to throw this out there. No disrespect to Paul Hogan, of course, Crocodile Dundee. I think General Scotty might be my favorite Australian.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I do agree. I mean, I think he's got less scandals.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, very good. So, of course, so SummerSlam night 1 is today, of course. SummerSlam 2026. Are you excited for SummerSlam this year?
I am. I'm excited for it. I don't think the card is quite as prestigious as other SummerSlams.
Yeah.
But I think it's a little more interesting. And I'd like to delve into some of these things. Like, for instance, we're going to have an interim women's champion because of Rhea Ripley's injury. And we're also going to see the return of Nick Aldis into the ring. So it's interesting. Do I think these are... The Aldis and Gunther match is a prestigious match? No. I think Gunther will win that one, but I think it's interesting to see, how, if there's any ring rust from Aldis. He hasn't stepped in the ring for, I think, 3 years now.
Yeah.
So to see if there's any ring rust on that. Also, we got to witness the return of Baron Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of interesting. He's coming out like he is, he left in a really weird storyline, just taking a year off. So make sure everybody forgot about that. The diehards didn't, but he comes in very confident, very powerful, going up against Trick Williams for the U.S. title.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of interesting. So the Danhausen, human money's on a pole match. I think that's just going to be a laugher. I think it's going to be funny. Again, is it prestigious? No, but it's something that's going to keep everybody in their seats. So the overall card for both nights, it's not going to be a wow, this is going to knock your socks off, but the performance still is out there and it could shock us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think the interim thing that they're doing with Rhea Ripley's championship is interesting because I don't recall them ever doing anything like that before. They do it in boxing and UFC in mixed martial arts, but the interim champion. So basically, rather than stripping Rhea Ripley of the belt because she can't defend it, the quote unquote rule is within 30 days Of course, it's wrestling, so the rules don't really matter in terms of that's something where pro wrestling is, not consistent in their storytelling. But this notion that so rather than stripping her of the title, you crown an interim champion who will then presumably go on to have a match with Rhea Ripley when she is ready to return for who is the undisputed, I guess you would say at that point, champion. The only thing even close to that I can recall in WWE's history is when they did back in the 90s, when they did a thing where Shawn Michaels left with the Intercontinental title, so they crowned, and then Razor Ramon became the Intercontinental champion in Shawn Michaels' absence, but because he refused to relinquish the title, he came back, and then they had that ladder match, which was, that was essentially, they didn't use the term interim, but at the time, essentially, Razor Ramon was the interim champion. And that's the only thing I can think of that even comes close to what they're doing with this particular storyline with Rhea Ripley.
Well, actually, I have a more recent one.
Oh,
remember when CM Punk walked out on the title?
True.
Then Cena became champion, and then Punk returned.
Yep.
So they were both champions. Obviously, that was like not scripted storyline material. This is scripted to the point where they're saying, well, we're going to have an interim champion. Now, in a sense, basically, whoever wins this ladder match technically is champion, really. But just Rhea Ripley is going to, when she finally returns, it just basically shoehorns her in to, okay, you're ready to return? Great. Your next match is going to be this to crown whoever is really champion. So,
yeah.
I don't put a lot of weight into interim. I just say, hey, this is the person that's going to hold the belt.
I think it's a cool idea, though. I think it's because it's not something that we're used to. It's something different, and it does make sense, and it is done in actual sports like boxing. So I like the concept.
Yeah, I think creative has finally come around a little bit, whoever that may be, if it's Trips or if it's The Rock or if TKO, whatever the case may be. I think, they're doing a politically correct version of, we're going to crown a new champion, but they're not really, really the champion until they face Rhea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. I'm curious. What are you most excited for? Is there a particular match that you're especially intrigued by?
I have a few, actually. So definitely looking for Oba and Brock. Number one, because technically this is supposed to be Brock's last match, although nobody's really officially said anything that this is Brock's last match because it's in Minnesota. That's his home state.
Yeah.
And they were even talking about on the new WWE channel on Sirius, by the way, that you can catch that, like, I think it's channel 156 or something. There's a WWE channel, Sirius XM.
Yeah. Well,
I was listening to Busted Open, and they were saying Oba may actually get booed for the first time, and how that may affect him
because it's in Minnesota.
Yes.
Yeah. And obviously that's where Lesnar's from. A lot of great talent came from there. Of course, Kurt Hennig and who else? Scott Hall, was he from Minnesota? I mean, I know he's in the AWA. There's a bunch, but
yeah.
But the Ganyas but yeah, that's it. That didn't even occur to me till you mentioned it just now. But you're right. Yeah, Obafemi might actually get booed. It won't affect him, I'm sure. Just whatever.
I don't think so. And again, like I said, I think Oba is so dominant to the point where he may not even get booed.
Right.
He and even if he does, it ain't going to be when he's in entrance. Everybody's going to, march with him down there, 35, 40 grand people at US Bank Stadium. They're going to go ahead and march with Oba when he gets introduced. But that match in the Hell in a Cell, I think that is a perfect way to end this three match, the rubber match, really, for this saga.
Kevin Nash on his podcast, his stream on YouTube, said something interesting about that, though. He said he objects to he feels there's a certain lack of psychology here with the way this is played out, because Hell in a Cell, the original idea is, or the original idea of a steel cage match, or Hell in a Cell, which is not exactly the same thing, but the idea is, you're trying to keep out people from interfering, So if one of the participants happens to be in a faction where they have a lot of people interfering in their matches, it keeps them out. And it also keeps, makes it so no one can run away. No one can try to get out of the match. No one can, just sneak out and take a count out because, for whatever reason. And there's no reason. So there's no reason for that. I guess what Nash was saying is that the cell was not necessary. They could have just had a third match, and you didn't need to make it a Hell in a Cell.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, you could always go to heaven and have a third great match and just nobody be afraid of anybody. But have you seen the build up to this is Lesnar has been running away from Oba whenever time Oba comes in. So it's and what's weird is Brock actually is the one that said Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
So it's you know what? It's kind of weird how it all plays out, but I kind of like two big behemoths inside a cell. Let's make it happen. I mean, that's great. And plus, there's no easy way out. You can't climb out. You can't enter. No, you got to pin the person. So I like the Hell in the Cell better than a steel cage where there's multiple ways you can win by escaping. And, I think a match needs to end with a count, not an escape.
I agree with you. Jesse Ventura agrees with you.
Yeah.
He might be. He might be there tonight. Of course, the former governor of Minnesota. Apparently, they invited him. I hope he is. By the way, just this might be a little bit of a side street, but I did not like that opening segment that they did on Raw with Obafemi and Brock Lesnar this week with the weigh-in and everything. I thought it was awful. I thought it was tedious and just bad.
It was stupid. It's just another. Honestly, that was a creative bad decision. I think it was just another way to go ahead and waste 15 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
It was like there's no need. When have we ever seen a weigh-in except if it was for like Yokozuna or something like that, where people actually gave a crap about weigh-ins? I had to have my words there.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, and I mean, it could have been interesting if they had done it right, but they didn't, and then it didn't make any sense. Oh, but it weighs in. Brock comes down, locks the cage, and then runs
away.
What's that?
And then runs away.
And then what I really hated was they did the trope. I'm so sick of this trope, and it's one of those wrestling tropes I've been sick of for probably 2 decades. They've got the independent wrestlers dressed up as police, cosplaying as police inside the ring. So then Oba loses his temper because he's frustrated. So he beats up all the indie guys in their police uniforms. And I'm just so tired of that. But I was bored with that probably literally 20 years ago. I'm so sick of that trope. I actually found it refreshing when the time that not that long ago that Braun Breaker was in a situation where it looked like he was going to beat up a bunch of indies. He dressed up like security guards, and then he didn't. He just didn't do it. He walked away, and I was like, "Oh, that's refreshing." Right. But yeah, that opening segment was horrid. I thought it was really bad. So,
yeah. I mean, this thing does not need that much buildup, and if it did need more buildup or anything, if you want to keep it fresh in people's minds and just keep promoting everything. Just get out and get Paul Heyman the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Just do that.
Yeah.
That is always a fail safe right there. It's safe to give Paul Heyman the mic. It's safe to give Oba the mic.
Mm-hmm.
I'll even say recently, Brock actually is not terrible on the mic. He sounds like Mike Tyson. You don't match the voice with the body, but he's not terrible on the mic.
Yeah, I've always thought he's fine in small doses. You just don't want him to say too much.
Right.
So
I am looking forward to this match though, just because number one, I'm kind of anxious to see where they go with this. Like, there's so many things that could happen. Like Oba basically gave up his spot to challenge for a title because he is King of the Ring.
Mm-hmm.
And what you get from being King of the Ring is a chance at SummerSlam, which is now, to challenge for a belt of your choosing, kind of like winning the Royal Rumble. So he gave that up to face Brock. And the reason I think, is a genius reason, really. He did mention it. Well, if I did take it, you would just screwed me anyway. So it's like, okay, I get that reason. I get it. And, he's now facing Brock because of just the hatred that he has towards him. So, but the thing is, what happens if Lesnar beats him? Well, then he's not really championship material anymore.
Well, they're not
now
going to
all of a sudden. I don't think they are.
No.
But what if?
No, I'm sure Obafemi goes over. Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense to have Brock win.
Right.
I think what they might do is have Oba go over, and this time Brock actually shakes his hand and kind of endorses him, and that allows Brock to kind of go out on a high note, on a good note. If this is in fact his last match in his home state of Minnesota, which again would make perfect sense. Yeah, I think that might be what happens.
Okay. I mean, I agree. I think Oba does go over. I don't know if Brock's going to shake his hand, though. I think Brock, just the history, it does make sense that Brock all of a sudden say turn a new leaf and like, oh, okay, I'm going to shake your hand.
He's been a babyface before.
You don't remember Brock as a babyface. I don't remember Brock as a babyface. I mean, he has, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But for extreme circumstances, he's not in this case.
For brief periods.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So what else do we have? So we have, I'm looking at the list here. So then apparently this is the order, or the projected match order, according to Bleacher Report. That match, Obafemi versus Brock, should open the show, which makes sense because Brock likes to go on first. He'd rather be the opening act so he can get the hell out of there. And then according go ahead.
What most people don't know about Brock is a very big introvert. He does not like big crowds. He came out on Pat McAfee and just says, I don't like people.
Oh, yeah, I've heard him say that in many interviews over the years. Yeah, that's why he bought a farm in Canada and, lives a very quiet life there because, he just doesn't want to be around his fellow humans. Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree opening the match because he either likes to go on first or likes to go on last, one of the two. So it's just he wants to spend minimal time there. Well,
does he ever go on last?
Yeah, when he was main eventing matches, yes, he did go on last, but I don't think he showed up to the arena and was just waiting around.
Right.
I think he showed up, probably 15 minutes before he's scheduled to go on. Okay, we're gonna hit your music. All right, go on, let's go.
Yeah, he's not
there.
He's not showing up at noon and hanging out and catering all day.
Exactly.
Yeah. So according to the list, next is going to be the Bella Twins and Paige versus Fatal Influence in a 6-person match. Fatal Influence has been impressive in that, JC Jane is such a natural heel. The match itself, I don't really care much about, other than I hope that, I assume, and it looks like they're doing it, they're going to strap a rocket to Fatal Influence and, I
hope so.
They're an example of when you bring talent up from NXT and you actually do it right. Both them and Obafemi. Triple H seems to know how to do that. Vince obviously did not know how to do that in many cases, but so I hope Fatal Influence goes over.
I hope so too. And I'm really tired of the Bella Twins. They need to go away. I mean, great. You went ahead and gave Paige a platform to come back, and that seemed to work over pretty well.
Yeah.
I don't believe that Brie and Paige needed to win the titles. I think, they could have done without it. The Bellas just need to go into retirement and live happily ever after. They really just need to go away.
Yeah. I'm indifferent. I don't have any antipathy toward them. I don't feel like they need to go away, but I also don't care about watching a match with the Bellas in it.
Matt, here's the difference here. When I'm thinking they need to go away, that is 2 spots that could be filled up easily with another young talent superstars to go ahead, or somebody else that deserves a shot.
Right.
Somebody that's going to be here for another 5-10 years, instead of people that are on their way out the door that are already Hall of Famers.
Right.
Usually if you're already Hall of Famers, with the exception of Rey Mysterio for whatever reason, if you're already a Hall of Famer, you need to be on the outside looking in.
Yeah. I agree generally. let's see. So then, let's see. Gunther versus Nick Aldis. We talked about that a little bit. Yeah, I assume Gunther goes over. Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis is still relatively young too. By the way, he's still in his 30s. So it's not like he's an older dude coming back after. But I think he had when he stopped wrestling. I mean, I think he had a pretty severe back injury, right?
I'm not sure, but he turns 40 this November. So he's 39 right now.
Right.
I don't know why he stopped. I didn't get into the reason why he had, but
I think it's his back.
Yeah, I heard it was some type of. I'm trying to read it quickly so we don't have any dead air, but yeah, I'm sure there was some type of injury that was going on.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, he's turning 40 soon, but of course, in this era, 40 is like in professional wrestling. When you're 40, you're like in your prime. All the main eventers, most of the main eventers are 40 plus. It's very different than when we were kids. That's for sure. Let's see. So then we've got the Bloodline, the Usos and Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Solo Sikoa. I had been thinking that Solo Sikoa that this was all just a long way to get to Solo Sikoa finally rejoining the Bloodline, but I'm not so sure because he seems to be getting over as a babyface, and from what I was reading online, internally the reaction within WWE is very positive to his babyface promos and how funny he is, and hopefully they keep him that way.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where they go for it. They're talking about pushing Solo.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't done the greatest in matches recently, though. But still, I mean, that's to be expected when you're trying to get your footing on whatever character you're trying to portray.
Yeah,
Solo, obviously, he was the very quiet type when he was with the Bloodline, and if he rejoins the Bloodline, I think that's where he goes back to, and we don't want that. I don't think that's something that you want to have Solo do. He is somebody that can be a leader, that can be a person on the mic. Again, he's not bad on the mic. I don't think he's great, but he's not bad.
I think he's fun. Seeing that promo when he came out and he was mocking Jey Uso, because Jey Uso does that whole warning shot thing, and Solo comes out and he's going pew pew. Yeah, it's funny.
I agree with you on that one. That was great. He has his good moments. He really does.
I think there's a lot of potential.
And if he goes back to the blood, I think that just puts duct tape on his mouth, really, and it just limits him so bad.
Yeah. So I hope they stay the course with him. Then we've got the women's world title match. Liv Morgan defending against Io Sky. We just saw that at. Was it Elimination Chamber?
Nah, Queen of the Ring.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry.
That was the finals. Io beat Liv for Queen of the Ring.
Right.
And then she said, "I see you at SummerSlam."
That's right. And I just remember, and we were talking about this on Tough Bumps, I think, with Eric and Austin, that they're both fantastic, but the match itself, I was kind of bored. I just felt like I'd seen it before. But yeah, Liv Morgan versus Io Sky, again, two incredible talents. I just wasn't into it.
If you want my opinion on that, it's kind of, and I know you're not a sports fan, so I'm going to try to be as generic as I can.
Yeah, I don't know sports ball.
When you have two teams playing in preseason and they're going to play regular season later in the year,
mm-hmm.
you don't want to give away too much.
Okay.
So I think what happened in this case is they played a very generic with a few spots in there type of match. And tonight you're going to see a full-blown version of letting it rip.
Okay. All right.
That's my thought, at least.
I hope so. I hope so. And then the match that I'm looking forward to the most out of the entire weekend, of course, CM Punk defending against Cody Rhodes. I'm very much looking forward to this. And there's a lot of speculation and intrigue around what might happen.
I'm not wearing it right now, but I will be wearing my CM Punk shirt.
Good.
I'm tired. Tired is a strong word, But I need to see a Cody turn.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see a Cody turn, a heel turn. They're on the verge of it. They're doing it. They really are trying to do it. It's just it needs to happen officially, 100% full blown.
Yeah,
the whole strap hitting Cody in the face, and then one of the live shows they got into it, and it's like they couldn't keep their hands off each other last night. So it's like, all right, let's do this. Let's do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need Punk to win. I mean, I need Punk to win.
But
I'm tired of Cody holding the belt.
Or, well, what if Cody wins, but there's a heel turn in the process? And he cheats to win.
Ooh, dang you, Matt. Dang you.
Because here's the thing. I kind of feel like, well, first of all, you need something dramatic if he's going to pull off this heel turn. But I feel like just broadly in the IWC, there's more interest in is there a turn than there is in who actually wins and is champion at the end of the night. So if you're going to do something, you got to do it big.
That's why they play the game, Matt. That's why they play the game. And that is a regional sports reference too.
I had no idea.
But yeah, I'm just tired of seeing Cody hold the belt. You know how a lot of people said, oh, we're being forced fed. I think we're being force fed with Cody being the face, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But again, that's just how I look at it. I'm enjoying seeing. I was actually enjoying the 9 days Sammy was champion.
Oh, sure.
Mean, that felt good. That felt really good. And I actually want to see Sammy take it from whoever. Whether Sammy comes out, interferes, and forces Punk, because he did say he wanted to face Cody.
Right.
The very first one, he did say he face CM Punk later, but
yeah,
he said he faced Cody. He beat Cody, so he kind of wants that to happen.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Oh, wouldn't that be interesting if he allies himself with Cody?
Oh man, I'm really hoping it just doesn't go with the matches that have interference with. I have the most problem with. I hope that this does not have any interference.
Yeah. I suspect there will be. It's also possible too that Punk turns, but I don't think a Punk heel turn is really as exciting.
It's not in the cards. No. I don't see it being in the cards because Punk is kind of back to part timing. Really, he's playing when he wants to play. So it's. I don't see Punk turning.
No, I don't either. I mean, he's a great heel.
He's gonna stay the straight edge.
Yeah,
he's gonna stay that straight, but he's gonna ruffle the feathers with Cody and just tick him off to the point of okay, this is the point of no return.
Mm-hmm. So all right, we'll see. So then we have let me just ask you too before we go any further. How do you feel about the build-up? Some people in the IWC have been critical of the build-up with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, that they may have missed some opportunities with these promos. I don't know. What do you think?
I've been happy with the jabbering back and forth, and even like I said, even not on just Raw and SmackDown, I'm even seeing the build-up on the live shows. They on SmackDown last night they showed live shows that the interaction between the two from another spot in Illinois.
Yeah, from a house show. Yeah,
I got no issue with the build up. What about you? Do you have any issue? What are they saying?
No, I mean I think it would have been cool. I know they're not ever gonna do it, but I think it would have been cool if maybe there had been an AEW reference in there somewhere with the back and forth between them, because
nice.
What's that?
It would have been nice. You're right.
Yeah, because that is a part of their story collectively together.
They danced around that point.
They did.
They danced around it a lot, and it's like just freaking say it. Come on.
Right. But it would have been interesting to hear. But they could have gone even without saying the letters AEW. They could have gone further. They could have had Cody say something like, if it wasn't for me and the company that I started, you wouldn't even be back in wrestling.
I think they're following some Vince's characteristics, like, we don't want to go ahead and say that or that or that.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Listen, even if you mention AEW, what is it really going to do?
Well,
everybody knows
yeah.
AEW exists.
Exactly.
So just you're not promoting them any more than they're promoting you.
Exactly.
I mean, how often do we go ahead and see people on AEW go ahead and mock current WWE wrestlers with their moves and gestures and stuff like that? Come on now. They're all but saying WWE over there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think, I mean, I say if you've got it, use it, use it in the story. But
yeah, exactly.
Unless that's coming later. Unless what the match tonight is the beginning, not the end of their feud. So maybe there's something coming down the road. All right. Well,
they got to move on to Sammy. Sammy's becoming hot.
Yeah. I like him as a heel. This is something on Tough Bumps. I'm curious your opinion about this. Austin and Eric both seem to disagree with me on this. This was in the beginning of Sammy's heel turn. They seem to both really prefer him as a babyface and talking about what a great babyface he is, which I agree. But to me, I thought he was more. Oh, and in fact, they liked him so much as a babyface, they didn't want to believe that this was really a full heel turn that he was doing. And I was like, guys, he's clearly a heel now. He's a heel who doesn't know he's a heel. He's a heel who still thinks he's a hero, but he's clearly a heel. And they kind of didn't even want to accept it. Eventually they had to. But I like Sami Zayn better as a heel. I think he's more interesting as a heel. I think his whole good guy shtick gets stale. And I think as a heel, he's able to play the character with levels and with a certain nuance and complexity that not everyone can pull off. And I think it's great.
My thing on that is he has morphed into a third element, and that's a baby heel. The reason why is because he's still, like you mentioned, he's a heel that doesn't know he's a heel. He's over here claiming to be this good guy.
Right.
I'm the last real good guy.
Yep.
But we know he's a snake in the grass.
Right.
We know he is. He knows he is.
Right.
He's doing everything a heel does, except now it's like he's doing it nicely.
Yeah.
So he's a baby heel.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like what he did in the Bloodline, right? In a way. Well, when he was in the Bloodline, he didn't know he was a heel. You know what I mean? Like he just thought he thought he had found his family, his tribe, so to speak. And he was very, very happy to be with his new family in the Bloodline. And he didn't know he was a heel.
He's good to work both sides of the fence, and he knows how to do it at the same time. That's what makes this a morph into another element.
Yeah. 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 He's next level with that. He really is in terms of presenting a complex character. And yeah, no, I'm a big Sami Zayn fan, and I'm an even bigger fan of heel Sami Zayn. All right. Should we move on to night 2? Should we talk about night 2?
No, yeah. We're less than 20 minutes away from the end of the show. So yeah, let's run through it.
All right. Night 2. So up first, again, this is the projected order according to Bleacher Report. First is for the IC title, Penta defending against Chad Gable. I have to tell you, Charles, I almost don't care who wins, and that's not me saying I'm not interested in the match. I'm interested in the match. I'm just interested in the execution of the match because I think it's going to be phenomenal. This will probably be a show stealer. I think it's going to be really good. I kind of don't care what the finish is. I just want to see how they get to whatever the finish is because I think it's going to be really good.
I'm actually surprised if this does open night 2. I'm surprised. I would think you'd want to go ahead and do the ladder match first.
Yeah.
But if this does happen, I think, yeah, these two are primed to go ahead and have a fantastic match. Penta, is amazing. Chad can be amazing. I think they're going to work well together. Yeah, this is going to be great. And you're right. I don't care who wins. I would like to see Chad take the belt just because this would be his first singles champion in WWE.
Hard to believe, isn't it? But based on how long he's been there, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's played a lot of undercards. He played a Shorty. Everybody remembers Shorty G.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah.
He's taken a lot of bumps. No reference to tough bumps, but he's taken a lot of bumps, a lot of whacks. I think he's given his due. I think it's time to reward.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Let's see. The U.S. title match, Trick Williams defending against Baron Corbin. By the way, I noticed something last night on SmackDown. Trick Williams came out, and I did not see any sign of Little Yachty with him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking, those two, share a room together. You know what I mean? But I didn't see Little Yachty coming out. Is that going to be the case on Sunday? No, I think Lil Yachty's going to join them because it's a big spot. But man,
it's just notable though because Little Yachty's been there. Little Yachty's been there every week for every appearance Trick Williams makes. Little Yachty's been there. He's a rare case of a celebrity who never leaves. Usually the celebrities come in and they leave, but not him.
Little Yachty probably didn't want to be seen with the rest of the cheeseheads over there in Wisconsin. So he probably I'm going to skip this and I'm going to go to the big one.
Yeah.
And then, so I think that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But man, I'm kind of wanting to see how Baron will do. And I'm kind of hoping he wins. But you know what? How would you take the title away from Trick? He's done everything you asked of him.
Mm-hmm.
He's gotten the crowd over. His presence is amazing. His mic skills are amazing. Everything's amazing about this kid. And the writers, I can see why they keep the belt on Trick, but man, it would be nice to see Baron with the belt.
I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent to Baron Corbin. I don't know. I've never quite seen in him what everyone else seems to see in him. To me, he's just kind of there.
He's played a lot of different characters as Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
You got the lone wolf. Then you had him matched up. Then he was like the homeless guy that lost everything. It's like, okay, all right. Now he's coming out, shaved like he was with some a fresh look.
Mm-hmm.
with his logo, fresh music, and he's coming out confident. He's coming out like, listen, I like the Lone Wolf guy. The Lone Wolf guy was good.
Mm-hmm.
He was confident. He was kicking everybody's behind. I like that version. I think that's the version we're going with. Even though it's not the Lone Wolf version, it's something very similar. And he may not win tonight, but I don't think he's going away anytime soon. This could be a saga. Could be.
Let's see. Then we've got Human Money's on a pole match. Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio. I'm sure this will be fun.
This is the time to go ahead, grab a beer, and just sit back and relax and just enjoy this one because Danhausen. Again, I don't care what anybody says. He's not being overexposed. He's not. They're using him just right. He's fun. He's entertaining. A lot more entertaining than I'd probably see, Gunther and Nick Aldis, to be honest with you. I think this is going to be a much more entertaining match. Yes, it's going to be some hijinks going on because that's Danhausen.
Yeah.
I'm also kind of wondering to see how a couple of wrestlers that are coming back, we already know one, but there's another one that should be coming back that should team up with that person that's coming back on Monday.
Oh, yeah. Big Cass is coming back, and so Enzo Amore should be coming back as well. Yeah.
Now, Danhausen has been having somebody covered up on a stretcher back there.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm wondering, is that Enzo?
Or is that Big Cass?
Well, Big Cass would be pushed for Monday. I'm kind of wondering.
Oh, that's right. That's right. The 8-3 thing. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know. No, maybe. Nah, I kind of doubt it, though. I don't know.
Well, I mean, we'll see. Well, I mean, again, it's going to be entertaining. This is one of those, intermission matches, but still, it's worth watching.
Then we've got a championship number 1 contender match between Sami Zayn and Finn Balor. I will say about Finn Balor, I like him as a babyface in that I like his babyface entrance. I think it's really fun. But as a character, I think he's much more interesting as a heel. I think as a babyface, he's kind of dull. I've always thought that about Finn Balor. I think he's better as a heel.
Finn Balor is good as a heel, but he needs a supporting cast. When he was basically, quote unquote, the de facto leader of the Judgment Day, I think that suited him very well.
Me too.
I think that suited him nicely. I don't mind the babyface of him. I mean, but yeah, I would rather see him being the leader of a group that does evil things. Like, it would be great if he was Samoan and he went ahead and teamed up with the MFTs. So that would be great,
right?
And this is actually an interesting match. I don't know who's going to win this one, to be honest with you. They got so much push with Sami Zayn, but Finn Balor came out last night. It's like, you know what? It's been 10 years and I have not got a title shot yet since I had to relinquish my undisputed title 10 years ago because of injury. He hasn't really had a shot back, to be honest with you. So,
well, he did though against Punk.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, that was an opportunity.
Yeah, that's why I think Sami Zayn goes over, because they want to keep him hot. And I think Finn Balor, he already had a chance. I mean, they're not going to do that again. I don't think.
Yeah, now that you brought that up, yeah, you're right. So, yeah, Sami probably would go over, and again, like I said, I would hope they make up for their mistake and put the belt back on Sami eventually.
We'll see. I'm not a fan of hot-shotting the title, but we'll see. Then we got the 5-way interim WWE Women's Championship ladder match. Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill, Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, and Julia or Lash Legend. Oh, so this article went up before.
So Lash won.
Lash won last night. Yeah.
Yep.
So this article went up before last night's SmackDown, apparently.
Which is interesting too. You have husband and wife going on the same night.
That's true.
Trick and Lash.
By the way, were you surprised at all? Jenny and I were both a little surprised last night watching SmackDown. That was basically a squash match. Lash Legend put Julia away pretty quickly. I was surprised by that. I thought Julia would be getting a little more. I mean, I'm not surprised that Lash went over. I'm just surprised that she went over as quickly as she did.
It was a very dull match. I mean, the audience participation was nil.
Well, I was just surprised how short it was. I didn't even think it was dull because it just went by so quickly. But they put Lash over strong. It just surprised me. Any prediction on this one?
I want to say Jade and Charlotte going to cancel each other out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Lash is athletic enough to climb a ladder.
Could this be Chelsea Green's moment finally?
That's what I'm wondering.
Yep.
I think Chelsea may rise up from the ashes, and it's like everybody needs to salute Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a nice storyline.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. The other possibility probably being Lash. Maybe they put her over strong last night because they're going to put her over here too. Because obviously they have big plans for her, and I don't think she's going to be teaming with Nia Jax for much longer, probably.
No, but currently Nia's with her right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you might be right. I mean, but the Irresistible Forces, there's been no sign really of them breaking up. They just haven't been as active. So maybe if that's one way of kind of like sweeping them under the rug, maybe.
Yeah.
But I kind of like how they are as a tag team.
Yeah. And then we've got the main event tomorrow night for the World Heavyweight Championship, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins.
I would say Seth because he's never lost against Roman. But since they keep bringing up, you've never beat me, you've never beat me, you've never beat Roman wins.
I agree. I think Roman goes over.
It's not even a case of how, just Roman wins. And it's probably going to be with, half or most of the bloodline out there. If Seth goes ahead and goes over, it's going to be the team of LA Solo and Royce helping.
Oh,
I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening though.
Yeah.
I see it clean. I see it no. no shenanigans. I think Roman just goes over and gets the monkey off his back so he could become, one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah. I think so too. They're both. Do you notice something too, looking at this card? I feel like now more than ever, one of the things I appreciate about the current era that we're in with wrestling is I feel like there's more character development than there's ever been. And these characters are allowed to show a lot more depth than they ever have in terms of the storytelling and whatnot. You still have clearly. What's that?
They're given more creative freedom than they were with Vince. And that's what I like about it. And that's why I cringe at anybody that says they need to bring Vince back.
Oh, God, no. That would be death for a variety of reasons. But I also, the thing that's interesting to me about this is we have, you still have pretty clearly defined baby faces and heels for the most part. But because of the complexity of the characters, you also have more complex baby faces than ever. Because if you look at this card, so both main events, they're both baby faces. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, they're both faces. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, they're both faces. You've got the match, the Bloodline versus LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Solo Sikoa. All 6 of them are technically baby faces. Chad Gable versus Penta, they're both baby faces. It seems like we're just in a time where, because the characters are more fleshed out and more complex, allowed to be more than they've ever been before, you can kind of do that now. Whereas there's a time when people just would have been like, what? Why do you have all these baby faces fighting each other? But now these stories are allowed to be more complex where, you can have baby faces fighting each other. You can have heels fighting each other, although you see a lot less of that. And it still all makes sense and it's all cohesive.
See, the term heel and babyface, I think, are getting phased out. I really do. Because what is a heel and what is a babyface? Well, heel is the bad guy. Well, what defines a bad guy? Just their different values, their different perspective in life, the different ways that they go about things. Babyface, same way. Well, you know what? Now babyfaces can have different values and still be okay. Heels can have different values and be different levels of heels.
Mm-hmm.
So it all depends on how it resonates. With Punk and Rhodes, listen, they're both, they came in starting, hey, we're going to do this handshake thing. Then all of a sudden, one thing led to another, and it developed now into a clash.
Mm-hmm.
That's the good storyline about this. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, they didn't like each other, but they both got fan bases on each side. They're both getting chants their own name, but they just don't like each other.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a common thing, and that's that whole steel chair. If Roman loses tonight, it's because he's going back in time to get that steel chair for Seth, and it's going to backfire like it did at SmackDown or Raw, I forget. But anyway, but yeah, I agree. I think heel and babyface, that term is getting phased out, to be honest with you.
I think you still have pretty clearly defined character, like Fatal Influence. Obviously, they're heels, and there's no ambiguity there, and obviously the Bella Twins and Paige are baby faces, and there's no ambiguity there. But I think I wouldn't go as far as you're going with that. In other words, I wouldn't say that's heels versus baby faces. I wouldn't say that it's getting phased out, but I think there's more, because Vince is gone. I think Triple H allows for a lot more creative freedom and allows these characters to almost interact in a more realistic way in a certain sense. Because
Penta and Chad Gable, same thing. Both heels, both faces.
Yeah.
So you see some of the matches very, very minor, but less than half are heels versus baby faces. Gunther and Nick Aldis, obviously heel versus baby face.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's getting hard to define sometimes.
Because I just remember, like, when I was a kid, like Ultimate Warrior versus Hogan at WrestleMania, like 2 baby faces for the title in the main event at WrestleMania, like that was a big deal. Like my friends and I were just like, "Whoa, they're really doing that? 2 good guys are gonna fight?" Like it was such a big deal then,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be fun 2 nights, 6 p.m. start time Eastern, on the ESPN Unlimited app, which, by the way, if you got YouTube TV it is now included in your YouTube TV subscription. So make sure you link it up to the ESPN app. They're not going to show the first hour on ESPN or ESPN2. It is strictly going to be on the app.
Yeah, they were doing recently. They were showing the first hour for, on ESPN and ESPN2, and I guess that didn't really, just on a business level, it wasn't panning out.
Yeah, they weren't getting the subscribers apparently for the views or whatever. So they decided, we're done with that.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Well, Charles, this is wonderful. I'm glad this worked out. And I'm almost kind of glad in a way the other guest didn't make it on, because it gave us more time to talk about SummerSlam. So I guess it was just meant to be. Trust the universe. That is something I'm trying to learn.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But please plug your show before you go.
Yep, the Charles Richardson Show every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, start time, Facebook, YouTube, IPM Nation. We are on a few other internet radio station sites, but IPMNation.com, make sure you tune into that one. You can go ahead and check out me on my Facebook page or my YouTube channel. Either way you do it, search The Charles Richardson Show, and bam, you get my ugly mug with my sponsorship and the AI generated picture.
Very good. Very good. All right, Charles, my friend, always nice to speak with you. Enjoy SummerSlam, and we'll talk again soon, I'm sure.
Pleasure. Thank you.
All right, you got it. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, that is Charles Richardson from The Charles Richardson Show, and we will begin to wrap up. I do want to thank everybody who joined us today. Of course, in the first hour, we had Jer Eaton with us. If you were listening to that live, it went sideways right at the end just from a text standpoint. I did get an email from him but saying, he thinks he got cut off at the end, and he did, because it just froze on his end. He was joining us online remotely, of course, because he is in Ireland. But really enjoyed talking with him. We'll definitely have him back in the future as he releases new music. The great Jer Eaton from Ireland. And in the second hour, we had the Melted Chapsticks. We had all 5 members with us, 3 of them in studio and 2 of them remote. Really love those guys. We're actually going to end today's show with one of their songs, but that was a lot of fun. And then, of course, in the third hour, Charles Richardson. For more information about me and all the things I do, you can go to my website, mattconnarton.com. And if you are interested in booking a hypnotherapy session, you can do that right through the site, or there's contact information there if you'd like to reach me for a free consultation. I would love to talk with you. And of course, if you just want to see all the different projects that I'm doing, including more information about this show, you can find that all at mattconnarton.com. And don't forget our new site, or new-ish, been a couple months now, but we're still building stuff into it, mattconnartonunleashed.com, where you can find a searchable archive of this very show. So if you're looking for specific segments, specific guests, whatever it may be, you can find it there. The new site, mattconnartonunleashed.com. Also, Jenny has been very busy. If you want to keep up with everything she's doing, you can go to her site, jencoffee.com. And I think that's going to just about do it. Oh, and by the way, once again, thank you so much for the package from our friends at BF Raid, Boston's Final Raid. Those guys will be here with us live on the show on August 22nd. So I cannot wait for that. Always love having them on with us. And I think that's going to do it for us for now. If you missed any part of today's show, it will be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org. And of course, at my website, mattconnarton.com. And you can subscribe in your podcast platform of choice. And we got to get out of here. We'll just we'll play a little bit of the Melted Chapsticks to play us out. And that's it for us for now. We'll talk to y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.
Hail, Satan's a reflection